All right, welcome to the Mansys. This is podcast number 1. Play the music.
Okay, well, we just got back from the Crossfit Games, and we're going to talk today about how we got there, our preparation for it, and then our experience there at the games. So
Our podcast is brought to you by and sponsored by Bill Athletic and Urban Gyms. But to kick our podcast off for our start, we'd like to share just a touching experience or story that you might have from yesterday, today, last week. So, Jaylee, do you want to kick it off for me?
you go.
Okay. So, yesterday we were at the kids' school. We've just got a golden retriever. He's 6 months old. And then there's this little deaf boy. He comes over and he just loves the dog, but he doesn't know what to do. He didn't know how to touch him. He just stood there. And then his interpreter or the lady that was doing the signing for him said, you can touch it. And then he can have a pat of the dog. And his eyes just lit up, and he was just so thankful that he was able to pat that dog at that time. And it's just that little time in the moment where you think, little things like just having your dog there to be able to see that and brighten up his day. He might not be able to hear, but just that one little moment sort of gave me a good kick in the ass to say, people have it a little bit harder than you.
Sweet. No, I was there when that happened. It was actually really sweet too, because the little boy was afterwards. He was so thankful. He looked at us and was like, "Thank you." Oh, how do they say thank you? It's like in their sign language. Mm-hmm. So
you can just add on to my story. We'll get to your next one on the next one, eh?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll get back to our CrossFit. When did you start, Adam?
No, so pretty much we'll do a bit of overlay. So we just got back from the CrossFit Games nearly a week and a half ago, which was a great experience for us and for our gyms and for everyone that came and everyone who knows us and who supported us over the years. So we just want to take it back, right back to where it actually began and how we before we get into the good stuff of it.
It's been a long journey to get there, so it's not like it just happened. We had a long road.
Yeah, it's been a few years. How many years? Well, for me, it's been a bit longer.
For Adam, it's been a long time. Yeah. Well.
So for me, this is in 2014, I did my first open. So what's that? About 8
years.
It's 8 years. So I was doing it a few months prior to that open in 2014. And CrossFit started in about 2008. So I was still a few years out. And then for yourself?
My first open was 2018.
2018.
So that's been 4 years this year. So I've done 4 opens.
Yeah, so pretty much it took me 8 years to be able to get to the CrossFit Games. And then it took Jaylee 4 years.
And then I cut it in half. When Adam did all the hard work, he came around and helped me out. So cut that work in half, and then I got there in half the time.
Yeah, so we kind of think of it as someone trying to make the Olympics. People wait 4 years to make the Olympics, and then they don't make it, so they wait another 4. So if you kind of put it in like that, then it's a pretty hard sport. There's only a minority of people who can actually make it to that stage. We did it as a team, because individually it was just it was way too hard for us, just with everything that we have going on, and then family, work life. You kind of have to be a bit selfish. So
we're selfish, but not that selfish.
Yeah, with the team stuff, we can still live a normal life.
Yeah, and we can still look after our children.
So for me, when I thought right from the very start, where I seen how I wanted to make the games, that was my first goal. As soon as I seen CrossFit, seen how it was, how people went out and did it. Before that I was a footy player, and then when I finished footy, because it wasn't going anywhere, we kind of needed something else. So someone introduced me to CrossFit, and then it was just like a big stage again, and you could actually compete for training. So just like your brother says, what does he say?
Jordan says, I only get trained to get paid. What does he say? Yeah, something like that. Like, I only train to get paid. I don't train for the fun of it like you guys do. He goes, what, you kill yourself all that time and don't get paid for it until you compete, and then maybe you get paid if you win.
And that's pretty much it. We don't get paid to do it, but we'll do it majority of our day. We used to spend up to 6 hours training. This is prior when I first started, because you're still new, so you wanted to do everything. And then now it's only about 2-3 hours a day, which is not always doing workouts. It's having rest in between and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's a long time training, but you need it to be able to get to where you want to.
Yeah, so my ultimate goal was always to make it to the CrossFit Games, and that was being individual or as a team or in some form. So I always wanted to be individual, but I always thought, man, I'm just going to make the CrossFit Games anyhow. And I put that on my vision board. I think back in like 2015, I did a little cutout, put it on the wall, and that's where, I just looked at that every day, had a picture of it. So for me, it was always the goal to be able to make it, because I wanted to do it when I could see, I probably could. But what about yourself?
I never had like a dream of making it to the CrossFit Games. I just never.
Why don't we just tell them the story? Why did you actually start doing it? Because you're also 4 years later. Yeah,
so I was having babies in that time, and then I never trained or anything at all. But then after I had Rio, the last one, she's 8 now, I was at home with the kids. Adam was at work and then would go training. So never had time to spend with him. And he'd come home from work or come home from training and then would have dinner and go to sleep. So the only time I could spend time with Adam was either watch him train or join in training with him. So I chose the latter and started training with him to spend more time with him. And then got the bug, got hooked, and then the rest is history. Now we compete together. And I make a joke to the kids, like, Adam's been trying all these years to make the games, and he only made it the first time when he was in my team. So he needed me.
In your team.
He needed me to make it to the CrossFit Games. So
I think Moki said, hey, Dad, Mum made it in a short amount of time. He's the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
He said, you can only make it to the games because you had Mum.
That's right.
Or it was the other way around.
I
don't know.
So, well, you've tried all these years, and I only just tried this year and made it, so you obviously needed me.
But I still remember saying that when we're back in our shed, because every place that we used to live in a few houses, and we used to move around, and then every place we went to, we used to build a garage gym because we had kids. You can't really I don't really like taking my kids to the gym if they're crying. So
and they were only young.
They were only young, so we used to just put them in the pram, and then push them, and then train all day long.
And then it's good for them too to experience, because then they see that you work hard for what your goals and what you want to achieve, and then they saw us actually achieve the goal that we had been working so hard for.
I still remember all the arguments we used to have before you, because you weren't training, about why
I was lazy as.
Why would you train so much? What are you doing? And back then I was doing boot camps, with Health Guru boot camps.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and even then I was like, I don't want to do that.
I would turn up to the camps and would have like 5 people and be like freezing in the morning, and then I was like, there's only so much you could do. So I knew I was doing CrossFit, and then I was like, man, the only way to be able to get better at this, I could be the best trainer, but no one knows me. So then I thought, what if I do really well at CrossFit? So then from there, without telling you, in my head, I was like, I'm going to be the best at CrossFit, so then I can actually get a business later on.
And even then I was still like,
and then still
whatever.
You're all crabby about it because you just thought, oh, he's just training too much.
What was that post I posted the other day? Yesterday I posted that on the gym's pages. Today they ask why you're doing it, and tomorrow, and then later they'll ask, how did you do it? So I would always be like, no, why are you doing it? Why are you doing this? And then now it's like, oh, how did you do that? how did you get there? Well, now people are asking how we got there and how we did this and that.
But there was a reason for doing
yeah.
it. It was to be able to have a
There's
business,
always a
but then also
purpose.
to compete. So there's plenty of stories like that.
So if what you're saying is that you're just a tag along.
100%. 100%. It's like,
Pretty much. I told her.
as if I didn't tag along, then I was just going to be left behind, or I'd miss the. Lucky I did though. Otherwise, I would miss the boat.
That's the only reason why she started training, because I said, I'm doing this, and I'm going to be doing this. So if you want to come and be with me, or if you want to spend time, not be with me. If you want to spend time with me, then you're going to have to come and do this.
Because he's like, I'm doing it anyway. It's like, okay.
And we can probably roll back some old videos that we have.
Oh, no. No.
Just think, hey, if Tasman started in 2014 when I did, she'll be at the same level.
She did. But on the footy field.
But then fast forward, went through years. Adam,
Did you ever, so you've been doing this for 8 years now, like we've been there from the start, like in those 8 years, and like every year you get a shot at your dream and making the games, and every year, whether it be performance, injury, or any other obstacle, did you ever get discouraged in like chasing your dream because you never reached it that year?
It was probably me that would be the discouragement. I would have been the burden, but go.
It's just it probably was a little bit because you have to be selfish, but I was trying not to be. But in that time, the only reason I kept going and kept doing it each year, because every time you do the Open, obviously you get scored worldwide, and then the test is, if you've been doing good training, is you've done better than last year or the previous year. So when I first started, I came 200th, which is, some people now think, how could I even make the top 200 in my first year? But back then, because it was still fresh, you could come into CrossFit within a couple of months and then sort of make the top 200. And then the next year, I think I came 102nd. And then the next year after that, I think I was in like 80th or something like that. So I still hadn't qualified because it was top
30.
They changed it from top 50, then went down to top 30. And then I think it was in my third year, maybe fourth year, that I made it into the second competition of the regional stage, and I came like 27th. So then that was like a moment of like, wow, you worked so hard to get to this point, you made it, and then you went there and then you got your ass kicked because you were only ever training to get to the Open, and then you weren't prepared for the next stage because you hadn't been there. So then
you go back and train ready for both.
Yeah, and then you go back, and then I trained again next year, made it, and then I tore my pec within a couple of workouts. That was the year they had some pec injuries. So, and then the years after that, they cancelled it.
No, then they had sanctionals.
Yeah.
So they changed it to.
So it went really well in sanctionals, but it wasn't.
It wasn't as high a level.
There was only
as
one
regionals.
spot. There was only one spot to go to the games. So I think I came like sixth or fifth was my best spot.
Yeah.
At a sanctional, but
you
it's
had
only
to
one
be
spot.
First.
So then everything's changed again, and it's come back around, and then
this year was
CrossFit's just getting harder, or life's getting more harder to be able to do more training. So teams was a better option with the team that we had, and we thought we would do pretty well, which we did pretty good.
like life's getting busier. We are getting older compared to what, like the athletes now, they're 19, 20, and we're 34. So we're a lot older. But that's no excuse. There's still older athletes that can still, roll with the youngins. But with our lifestyle and then having kids and businesses and stuff, teams was a lot better for us, and obviously worked out best
Jay,
in the long run.
You said that you were probably the biggest discouragement, like on Adam's journey, knowing like the sacrifice that you had as a family, like you and the kids. Like it's easier for him to turn up every year, every day, every week because he's motivated by his dream. But for someone that's not your dream, how did you, with the kids, continue to support him, even though like sometimes the success wasn't there? Like, how do you like buy into his dream and continue to support him as a wife?
I think that's why I joined him, because before that it was just like, oh, what are you doing this for? You're taking your time away from the family, or, you know, you're so selfish. And then when I, you know, joined him, I could, you know, I got the picture, and I saw the dream too. Not that I wanted to go to the CrossFit Games as well, but I saw what he was working for and working towards. And even though it's not something that I wanted to do, it was still a good trait to have, and a good thing to teach the kids. You know, work hard for what you want and don't give up on your dreams, kind of thing. It's like, it will, you know, didn't happen straight away, but it still did happen, like the Pantene ad. Won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
I think I always said to you, Jaylee, just follow me and I'll show you the way. Don't worry about anything. Don't question it. I'll show you the way.
He always says, don't question it. I question everything.
I haven't gone wrong yet.
I question everything.
Everything we've done, it's been.
But.
So the thing is, I start everything, and Jaylee hates it. She doesn't want to do it. And then when she sees that it's happening, she's like, oh, I'm in now.
So she's bandwagon.
Yeah, she's bandwagon because she doesn't believe in it, because I think it's too much work to start, and then once it started, she's like, oh, maybe that could work, and then she jumps on and she adds her touch, which is the fine touch, and I can't really do that.
Yeah, see, he can't finish off well. I can do the finishing touches.
I'm tired of doing the startup. I'm just waiting.
He does the startup, I do the finish. But that's why we're a good team.
All right, so the games. So we made it past Torian.
Yeah, so because it wasn't like my dream to be a games athlete, but then once we did, like before this whole prep for the games, when we started a team and we started our gyms, then it all became like, yeah, I want to do this and I want it to be serious, and so then put all of our effort into training, and then that's when it became like, okay, we're gonna make time for this if this is what we're going to do, and it will be beneficial to us and beneficial to our gyms. So all of the preparation once it began was, we're making the games. There's no buts about it.
Just touching on your guys' team, because you've made it as a team, the other two, the Van Zils, are also a married couple. And if people don't know like the dynamics of CrossFit, and like who's good, like who's the big dogs, who's, you know what I mean? And Caitlin, she's pretty big in like the Australian like community of CrossFit. So having them join you guys on the journey to the CrossFit Games, you were, in my unbiased opinion, sort of like the big dogs like of this area. Like even in Australia, you know what I mean, like of the CrossFit community, like, and there was a bit of hype around you guys, like making it to the games, and then you guys are a legit threat. And then talk us through your guys' first shot at was it ACC, when it didn't like really go.
Oh yeah. So having them as our like business partners and then team partners, we definitely couldn't have done it with anybody else.
Well, the basis of it goes off. It pretty much goes off how good the girls are, because the majority of the males
can do everything,
can be on par, but then it's the females with the gymnastics and the strength levels. So if you've got two really good females, generally you're going to have a really good go at it, because you're not going to get stuck on too many movements. And then obviously we've got two like amazing females compared to most, so we knew that there's not that many teams that are going to have, you know, a games athlete and then someone who's competed at sanctionals.
Our team dynamics were like really good. Our strengths and weaknesses kind of balanced out each other as well.
And then that first comp was the ACC comp, but we had done a couple of other ones, little ones prior.
Just for a warm up.
But the ACC was probably the one, you know, that was our year. We wanted to make the games. It was a year before it all sort of COVID stuff happened.
It was that same year COVID.
And we went into that comp and we were ready. First workout, we went for it, and I think we finished just second on the first workout. Next workout, we placed really well. We would have been leading. And then we come into the last workout of the first day.
Yeah. And then Caitlin...
Yeah, and then Caitlin
rolled her ankle came down off the rope, rolled her ankle, and then we couldn't finish the weekend.
Yeah.
But then, in hindsight, like, that was, like, devastating because we all knew, like, we would have definitely made the games that year.
With those workouts and what was coming out.
With the workouts and everything, it was like, that was our A game. But in hindsight, we're kind of lucky or glad that we didn't have this whole hype of we made it, yes, because the games didn't go ahead that year. COVID hit. No one was allowed to travel. No one could compete at the games. So that would have been a major downer from being on such a high. So we're not like, suckers, you didn't get to go do it. But like, we're just glad that we didn't have the whole ups and downs of all of that. It was just we didn't get to go.
In those years, it was super teams. So you could have anybody in your team, which we were just still...
we still were from our same gym.
Which is... It's hard to come across four good athletes in the same gym to be able to compete.
Yeah.
So we're lucky that obviously we're business partners as well, and we're lucky that we all have the passion to be able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So then we rolled from there. Then we had to wait a couple of years until they decided to change the rules and take it back to the affiliate cup.
Which is affiliate cup is where you have 4 people from the same affiliate, so from the same gym. You can't have, the best person from over there and make a team from that. You have to be a member of the same gym. And so lucky for us, we were always members of the same gym, and other teams, they had to find different teammates that were in their same area or in the same gym. So we were already lucky enough to have our team sorted.
Yeah, and we've been training. So then the Torian got announced, and then we had to go through the Open first, which is individual. And then from the Open, your scores get combined, and then you make the quarterfinals, which is together as a team online, and then you place. I think we placed
third
in the Oceania.
Oceania is New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah.
So we came third in that one.
And you only had to place in the top 50.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Torian, which was in Brisbane, and that was the semi-finals. And then
what happened there? We tied first.
Our main goal was to win. We were thinking about the games, but we were thinking about we just want to win this.
We knew we were going to make it to the games. We just already had said to ourselves we're making it to the games. So it wasn't a question of first, second, third. It was a question of told ourselves we have to come first. That was our goal. And I mean, technically we did come first, but then on a count back we came second. Because we came tie first.
Yeah, with the 6'4" Army team who were
crazy good.
Really good as well.
We were okay to come second.
But then we had the ticket, so we just wanted to win because we didn't know what to expect at the games because we'd never been. And then the training sort of started. We weren't guessing the training, we were just going back on looking at other games that had gone by to try and, because we have never been, so you don't know how the next stage goes.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just going back on what they had done before.
Prepare for everything and anything.
Just touching on your guys' touring experience. So you've obviously had the disappointment of ACC 2 years ago, and then you roll into Torian this is us. We're gonna crack and finally make the games. You're literally on the cusp of your dreams. And that you already have that personal expectation of making the games, we're in here, this is us, we're locked in. How do you keep all your emotions, because it's a long weekend of workouts, how do you keep yourselves together? Did you
see Adam on the camera? Did you watch him? He didn't quite keep them together. His emotions...
On which one? On the ACC comp?
No, Torian. His emotions didn't quite stay in the bag.
Oh, well, when you stuff up, right? You gotta own your stuff up and be yelled at.
Did you? Oh, me?
Yeah, you. Well, in training, I'm the weaker link in training, and I don't train. I train as hard as I can, but it doesn't seem to come off. So Jaylee tells me, "What are you doing?"
I said, "You better be ready for it. You better get that sorted."
And I said, "Don't worry about me, love. It's game day. You wait till game day. Get to game day, and she falls apart."
I'm the one that falls apart. It's I'm the I need to mentally be better on game day. Adam needs to be physically better in training day.
The touring emotions was only because we really wanted to win. So we knew that we were going to go to the games, but we really just wanted to win. So that's why we were probably getting upset after each workout if we weren't leading.
And it was all the little mistakes from ourselves.
We made before we went in. We said that the only way that we would lose if we make mistakes, and all of us made mistakes through the whole weekend, which added up to not getting that 1 point to be able to actually take it out.
So that's why we ended up with a tie instead of that 1 point win.
But then 10 minutes afterwards, once you have finished and we had come second, it didn't really matter anymore because we were going to the game, so it was fine. And then from there we started our training leading up to the actual CrossFit Games, which we only got back about 8 weeks ago. Which it was about 8 weeks ago, the games?
The games was 6 weeks ago. And we just got back last week.
Yeah. So
and that's a whole nother podcast.
But the leading up the lead up to that was pretty hectic training because we were just trying to guessing to see, what level we're on, trying to compete against some other times. We got close to some people's times.
You're just unsure because it's different in competition on competition day and as opposed to just training as well. So you think you're doing okay, or you're not sure if your times or your scores or your levels are at the top elite level until on the day.
Yeah.
So when we got there,
so it was just a guessing game, and then
when we got there, we
pretty
definitely
much
surprised
what was
ourselves.
but before we even started competing, what was your expectation of going there to compete at the games?
Well, for all of us, I think we just were like, yep, we're just gonna go to enjoy it and compete. Not, we didn't have any expectation of coming top 10 at all, but it was more, we'll just try and be with the pack, in the middle of the pack, not at the bottom. And that was all our expectation was just go there to have fun and just to be there.
I think we said top 20 we would be happy. And then but before we get into the actual thing, what about so over the years we had watched the what was that called, the where we go and get our clothes, the experience. Noble called it the experience.
The Noble experience.
So every year you go through and you get all of this kit for the games, and it was like
it used to be Reebok, and they would do the same kind of thing. I think not exactly, but they'd go and you get your kit, you get your gear, and everyone would see and be like, "Wow, how crazy! Look what you get!" And you just want to go there just for the gear. And so when we first got there, we're thinking, it's going to be nice. We'll get get some stuff, but the whole experience of the Noble experience was by far the best part of the whole games experience, I think, for me anyway.
Just the people, even though they're volunteers, they just make it like you've made an achievement. And
they all thought that you were not that you're amazing, but they all thought wow, you are
it's
amazing.
Such a hard effort to get here.
It's so hard to make it to the games, and you've made it. So congratulations! Your hard work has been rewarded, and here you go.
Yeah, and they pretty much did everything and anything for you, which made the experience
nothing
so
was
much
too much of an ask. It was they wanted to serve you on a platter kind of thing, and you felt like royalty when you went in there. It was such an awesome experience. I wish everyone could be there and have experienced it too. So we couldn't get enough videos or footage.
But you're only allowed to take your team in there.
Yeah.
So, but that was probably a huge highlight.
Yeah, and then even getting dressed in the clothes and taking the photos, team photos and stuff like that. All of that was just also professional and so well done.
Yeah, the games was pretty crazy.
So then you guys just run us through day by day. We want to know the highs, the lows of each event.
So that was a crazy high, getting all that gear. We were just well, we can just pack up and go home now. Got this, that was just an amazing experience. Got it all, got our photos, and then as we were walking out, they have a vendor village kind of thing. You just walk down there and they just keep handing you all their stuff, all of their products.
Yeah, they're just all sponsors of the games. They're
all just so grateful for you to have their stuff. It's are we can we take one? They're like, take 5.
We
you
even
know?
asked, I think Caitlin even asked, so how much is that one of them? She goes, no, it's all yours, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And we were just like, okay, can we
I-
take 2?
So we don't want to be hungers, but can we have 3? So that was after that, and then so that was the day before our first day of competition.
Yep.
Second day. So then after that, we obviously had the kids. We went back out, took the kids out to do stuff for the afternoon, and then we went to.
And then after that, we had a bit of a practice. We had to go down for a briefing
the
on the water for the first event. And then they told us what the event was. Or they didn't tell us what the event was. They just said it's going to be a swim. It's going to be a paddle. Here's the paddles. Go and practice. So next day, we come on in and then we're all ready to go. So they don't have to brief us. So we can turn up early and then the event starts.
So first day was swim and paddle. And for y'all that don't know already, I do not like an open water swim. I can swim in a pool. I cannot swim. I can swim in open water, but I just...
Well, she can barely swim in the pool.
Whoa, I beat you. I always beat you in a pool.
She can swim, but she can go slow because she's too scared to put her head under the water.
I can swim in a pool fine, put my head under the water fine in a pool. Pool's no drama at all. In the open water, whether it be a lake or the beach, I just freak out because I can't touch the bottom. There's nothing next to me. There's sharks underneath me, whatever. All of that freaked me out. Anyway, got to the first day. I was just like, once we get this swim over and done with, I will be perfectly fine. The rest of the competition is whatever. It will be great. In the end, the swim and the paddle was a great event for us. So,
yeah, I think the boys really brought it home there.
Whoa. Excuse you. The girls came in.
Girls
The girls
do really
came in,
well.
and some of the boys that went in after you still beat you on the swim. So,
no, I think going into that first one,
and I think because our expectations were so low, and we were like, "Oh, this is not going to be a good event for us."
and we knew Jaylee could swim, but she was too afraid of the water.
So I was not going 100.
And lucky Kaylin went with her because I probably couldn't deal with her out there. We were training.
We already planned in practice. We didn't know who was going with who because we didn't know if it was boys, girls, boys together, what it was. But it was always, I was never going with Adam because Adam would just tell me to harden the F up and keep going. So lucky we already had our plan organized, and Caitlin, lifesaver, kept me calm, and then
Well, no,
off we
she
went.
still had to swim, so it was like she did it. She's just too nervous to get under the water.
Yeah.
But then after that,
the
I think
anxiety just takes over. I just don't even. It's like,
I think they came back out of the water mid-pack.
mid-pack, but then we came out of the water. Then we get in the paddle, and then we came out of the paddle at the front somewhere.
Yeah. And then
So
somehow,
can paddle, can't swim in the ocean.
Yeah, and then after no one. It's surprisingly games athletes don't know how to paddle.
It's very surprising. It's
We
like,
don't-
how
we
can you
don't-
swim so fast, but you can't paddle on a kayak?
Yeah, we don't paddle much, but we.
I
Seem
guess
to,
like our lifestyle here in Australia, we can paddle. Go out on the beach and use the kayaks and whatever. A little more than some people that live in the snow.
Yeah. So then the emotion from that, we got sixth in the first workout. Was like, oh, this is great. Like,
So it ended
was
up being
crazy.
from we'll come mid-pack in this workout to we came top 10 in the workout, which already was a high, and we were like, wow, if this is what we can do in a workout that's no good for us,
Yeah, that was
imagine the
supposed to be
stuff
worst.
that we can, that we can do good in.
Yeah. I can't remember what the next workout was.
No, so that was
The
all.
muscle-up workout.
So then we
Oh yeah.
went back, and then we did the sled push and muscle up. And that one there, like we'd never pushed the bob before. We'd never done, anything out on this CrossFit stage before. So it was like, you just never know how it's going to, how your mind games and whatnot are going to come out. But then
Yeah. Well, when it went 3, 2, 1, and it
once
went.
we started pushing the sled, we're like, why is this so easy? Why are we
winning?
Why are we
by
winning this?
A whole like whatever the
whole
distance
length,
was,
12 meters, I think
yeah,
it was.
12 meters, and it's just the start. Did we go out too fast? But we had done a lot of training with the sled,
With a sled, but not as
Not
a
together.
4-person sled.
so then we just thought, oh, they're just going. We just went too fast, so we're gonna get screwed somewhere. And then in the end, people just went too slow.
Yeah, we just thought, oh.
So we just went at our normal pace, which was cruising, and then I think at the end of the workout, from Rich or CrossFit Mayhem only got us by like,
like
two
two
reps
reps.
right at the end and ran across the line. So that was a second place
Yeah, that was a second place. And
in
so,
that one.
And then it was a back-to-back workout. So
And then
it
we
was
got
a
fourth.
rest a couple of minutes, and then it was straight back into the next one, which was another good event for us too. So the first day we were just like cheering, like, what have we just done? And we are actually here to compete, not just to, make up numbers and enjoy the ride.
I think we're coming fourth after the first day, so we were on a high when we went back to
We
the
still had
hotel.
another workout after that one as well.
Yeah.
You just came fourth.
So in the sled one, we came second, and then in the sled pull one, we came
I
fourth.
think.
And then we had that last one at night time, was it? There was one more.
Yeah, I can't remember what we did. Okay in that one.
And then we still did okay in that one, so we ended up
For the first day, we were fourth overall.
Mm.
And
Oh,
so
it was
we
the
were
wall
high.
walks.
Oh yeah, so we didn't do too well in that one.
That one was a bit average. We were mid-pack in that
I think
one.
we're like 12th.
And then that brought us down to fourth place.
Yeah.
So day one, we were on a high. Like, how did we do that? We just realized then that this is not just fun and games for us now too. So I guess because our expectations were so low, we just enjoyed the ride and didn't have the stress. But then the next day came and we were like, okay, we're not here just to muck around now.
Yeah, the expectation was a bit. We put too much pressure on ourselves, and then some workouts came out on the next day that we weren't all
Well, some
confident
of them,
at
some
to be
of
able to
them
do
were.
really well.
It was up and downs. I mean, we didn't bomb out, but we just weren't at that top 5 level. The first 2 workouts of the next day. But then we had the surprise workout on that night, the second night, and that was the bike and snatches one.
Yeah.
And
So we had a really bad workout in the morning.
Yeah.
I think we placed like 17th or 18th.
Seventh.
7th on that one?
Yeah, in event 6.
Yeah, that would have been event 5
No,
and 6.
event
So we had
4.
4 on the first day, and then 5 and 6 on the next day, and then 7th was what the one we came first in.
Yeah, and then I got to go down and receive the workout first, because when you put your name down or whoever signs
Team
up,
captain gets
goes
taken
as a
away.
team
They don't
captain.
tell us all the workouts, so we just turn up, warm up for anything.
Can we just talk about event 6 just for a second?
Oh, should we? Should we?
It's the
run?
on the field back
The run and handstand walk? And then
and back to Bob or 4 teammates. Do you want to?
Do we just want to run through that one where we sprint and sled push? Oh, we still actually did really well in that one, but we could have.
That's the one that you went early and then we lost.
Oh, the one where Adam said, go, let's go, and we didn't even finish pushing the sled over the line.
Each time you had to push the back of the sled over. So then I thought, we're running out of room. We got to the end. The lady goes, go, go, go. And I was like, sweet.
She meant like, keep
Let's
going,
go.
you're nearly there. But Adam thought go like he ran to the end before we had like it wasn't over the line.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So you guys were neck and neck with Mayhem.
we were neck and neck with
Yeah.
Mayhem, and then Adam came off the sled too early. Then that
And then we
took
had
us.
to go
Then we ended up third. In that
Normally
one.
the judge doesn't encourage you to. They're not allowed to really say anything like encouragement. But for some reason, she must have mentioned like, go, go, go.
I think she got.
I don't know
she was
what
getting
she was talking
excited
about.
for us.
And then when you're under pressure or when you're just trying to rush, anything happens, and then
Oh, but that's okay if it was UA.
little
if
mistake.
If it was me,
you know.
it would have been a major mistake.
You just got to own the mistake, and then I
Like
did.
all those other times. Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah, I
Did
said
you
it was
own it?
mine. It was my
Did you
fault.
own it? Oh.
Yeah.
When? Just now?
Yeah. It's pretty. It rarely happens. So you won't ever hear this really again. But for Jaylee,
But
we
I
can
must
talk about
admit,
a long time.
I am the weaker link in the team. So every workout is like, it's like, sorry guys, sorry
Not the weaker
guys.
link. It's just. Yeah.
Yeah, the what?
So you say, so she's like
The lesser
So
experience.
she's the weaker link in the team, and then we roll into event 7, which is the Echo Bike and Snatches, and you guys choose her
To be the
anchor,
the anchor at the
You guys
end. So it's all on you, Jaylee.
So I think the plan in that one was just to get off to a good start, and then Jaylee's at the end, and then she can just finish it off. Because the machines, the bike and snatching is like everyone's wheelhouse, so we're all
Oh, it's
really
everyone
good
in
at
our
it.
everyone in our team.
But the-
Machine and barbell is, if we don't do well in a machine and barbell workout, then then something's wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just Caitlin and Johan to go off first was because they're
They're
really
better
good
at the
on
machine.
like Caitlin's better than me on the machine.
Yeah.
So the plan was for them to get a good lead and then we just come through and then hold that lead and come to the end.
Yeah.
Which it did work out.
I was like,
pretty
guys,
much how
make
he
sure
did.
you get ahead for me, please.
Because sometimes under pressure on the bike, Jaylee will go too fast and then she'll gas herself.
Yeah.
But then on the snatches, no one can beat her at the snatches. But she just needed a lead.
I needed the
to
lead
get into that.
so then I could be comfortable knowing I can just hold on and go.
So once she got into the once she got in front on the lead on that workout, we kind of knew it was still nerve wracking that we might not win, but when you
after
get back
that
to
first part of it, I knew I knew I was comfortable. I could hold it. So
yeah,
but it's like everyone watching wouldn't know like how I felt or whatever, but I felt comfortable. And I was like, okay, yep, we're good now. We're good.
And we're not allowed to cheer for Jaylee because she's a bloody sook.
If they're like, you can cheer for me, encouragement, but he's always like, hurry up, go, go, go. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
she
okay.
crumbles. So
It's like, don't make me get like, yeah. So you got to keep me calm.
So
the
pretty
whole
much
time.
at the line, I think I was telling Johan and Caitlin, it's like, just ease it up. Don't tell her to hurry up. We'll just say it nicely so she doesn't panic.
Because if you rush me, then I'll panic and then it all crumbles. But
if they crossed the line second, she wouldn't have heard the end of it. Because there was so much of a lead.
There was a stage where I think one of the other, you're on the set of 25 on the barbell, and there was someone...
There was another team that was with us, that was right with us the whole time.
Yeah.
And then once we got to the barbell, then she broke it up and I just held on the whole
I
time.
was going to drop the barbell first, and we're like, you see those like footy fans and like those dudes that watch the like horse racing, and then just like whipping them home like on the Melbourne Cup. Like, I don't know if you could see literally I think like every family member, like we're in the public and we're like whipping you home like the Melbourne Cup winner, honestly.
I think Zeta said that Dad was like on the floor, like smacking the ground, like come on. I was like, what?
Once we got to that stage, I didn't think we were ever going to lose. It was just... Once you got to the barbells, we knew that you weren't going to drop the barbell, and then every other girl was dropping it. So, and then the emotion at the end when we finished, we were so more ecstatic because we hadn't won an event, even leading up through the online qualifiers, semi-finals,
online qualifiers,
nothing.
touring, none of that. We'd always come second, and then when we won a games event, that was just like, we're like, we don't care about those seconds. This one win at the games was better than all of those. So
each day was like a high. There was so many highs, and then there was very big lows, and then highs.
yeah, it was a major roller coaster, like up, down, up, down, up, down.
Because there might have been
all
one
the way
workout,
to the very end.
one workout that we always had. Maybe we had one little weakness, which if you have a weakness at the games, it kind of costs you the whole thing.
So there was always like a...
Coming into that last day was we were excited because we were still sitting in sixth.
They were... No.
Sixth maybe?
No.
Well, coming in the last day, I think we were sitting second.
No, second. We were second.
Second.
I was like, we was fourth.
And then we had a couple...
Fifth, second.
Yeah, and then we had a couple of workouts we did really well in. Just behind Mayhem again on one of the workouts, which we came second. And then we came into the final workout, which we struggled a little bit just because
You did good in the first workout.
Yeah, so first workout on day 4 was like, that was... The worm workouts, we had done a crap load of work on the worm and like died like so hard in training on the worm. So any worm workout that came out, we knew we just like, this was our workout. And didn't matter what happened before or after. It's like we can hold that worm all day, all night, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is what we did in the end, like on that workout. So all of the training had definitely paid off because we got onto the worm like 5th or something, and then
just nearly missed the first place.
And then
we
literally just we got onto the worm though after the first part of the workout. We were like not even close to being anywhere, and then they just couldn't hold the worm, and we knew like the worm is our A game. So worm got us through in the end on that one. It's like all that worm training paid off just for that workout even.
So I think we brought ourselves back into 4th place after that second and third last workout.
And then we
only had like
more.
20 more points until second.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 2 more workouts. And then we seen that the strict handstand push-up workout came out, which for one of the team members is not their strongest.
It's like not my strong point.
And it was
either.
synchro 4, so it made it even harder that you had to all go together.
Mm-hmm.
So that workout didn't really plan out to where we wanted to be. And then we came into the last workout where we were sitting in, I think we were sitting in
5th or 6th.
5th or 6th.
Yeah.
And then
So you still, like, if we had done really well in the last workout, we still could have, like, bumped ourselves up.
we couldn't have got 3rd, but we definitely could have got maybe 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But then in the last workout, they kind of got screwed over because CrossFit set the pull-up bars to
All at the same height.
female height.
And if you know Johan is double the size of me, so...
Yeah, he's probably the tallest guy in the teams.
Oh, he's probably the tallest guy at the games.
CrossFit, at the games. So his feet, he had to lift his legs up and his feet were scraping the floor. So if you ever done pull-ups on a small bar, it kind of, there's no consistency.
There was no flow for him. He just had to, crouch the whole time.
So it kind of burned his arms out. Which then led us, I think we got last in that workout because it was only top 10. So I think we got, second last. I think we got 9th.
As the days went on...
10th?
10th.
Oh,
No,
we
we came last in that one.
Yeah, we got last in that one.
Well, last out of the top 10. So as the days go on, they cut the teams off. And so we were top 10 on the last day, which was... probably didn't play in our favor too.
Yeah, because we did so well in the previous days, it just turned out that if we did a few bad places, we still ended up staying in that top 5.
There wasn't
top
enough.
10.
There weren't enough people to change the order.
So it was
So it wasn't a great finish for us, but
expecting to come 20th and come 7th this is the best in the world. So pretty amazing achievement, and it was an amazing experience.
Does it like the 5 for next year?
100%.
Or are you like,
100%.
sweet, we came 7th, like...
No, it's because of all just those little things, one person had a weakness here, one person had a weakness in that part. It's those little things, if we just tweak them, then we know we've got a podium finish.
Yeah,
So,
we want to be the first Australian team or Oceania team to actually podium.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know the history of it, but I think we are the first Australian to place the highest at the games.
Yeah, I think someone shared
that to us. Not Oceania, because the New Zealand team did come 6th.
Yeah, but the first
But
Australian
for Australian team, we placed the highest at the
that
games.
they've ever placed before.
So we want to be the first Australian team to podium, first, second, or third. First would be great, but...
So yeah, we know those little weaknesses, if we just fix them up this year, then there's no holes, there's no gaps. We would have been able to stay consistently up there the whole way through.
So it was...
Do you feel that having like good, strong competition within this region and the teams with +6'4" and
Our side
down in Melbourne, like makes you guys a better team?
100%.
Definitely, because then it doesn't. We don't think that we're just gonna waltz through.
We don't become complacent and like, oh, we're the best here, but then go there and it's like, well, it's a whole nother league. So it's definitely.
But as long as you qualify, it doesn't matter, and I think matters until you get to the Taurian to semi-finals.
Yeah, to the real life.
The online stuff for us, we're not fussed about. If you come 10th, that's fine because it's only top 50. So whatever happens at Taurian, if we're not on our game, then we know we're not going to be on. So the Taurian semi-finals is where we have to put our show on.
The in real life competition is where it matters most. The rest is like you just know you have to qualify. So
next year we should do pretty well. Before we close up, you anyone at the games who you were a bit starstruck or you just thought, wow, that dude's amazing?
Dude, what if it was a girl?
Or girl.
Wow.
Or anyone you would get a photo with.
No, they're all, like, you think everyone's so awesome and you see them in real life and they are awesome in real life too. But then, like, Rich Froning, yeah, he's, been amazing for so many years, and everyone thinks, oh, he's gonna be like snob or whatever, or he's too cool to be with the public, you know, or like the peasants. But he was just chill with everyone the whole time. It's not like he had like, oh no, I've got to go to my own area. Like he probably did have one, but he didn't. And then you think, oh, he wouldn't talk to you, but he fully talked to us and like had conversations and like was actually impressed by our abilities. He was like, yeah, he was just like any other person. Like if you did really well, he was like, wow, that was amazing. Like, how did you do that? And then, you know, he wasn't like, oh, well, you go, I'm going to beat you guys, or you guys, you know, don't you know who I am? He was sweet.
For me, it was Chandler Smith, or they call it, or his name is Blacksmith on Instagram. He had these dark glasses on.
Adam has a man crush.
And he was chiseled and just huge, and he just reminded me of Wesley Snipes when we used to watch those movies.
He was glistening. His muscles were like shining.
Yeah.
So did he have oil on, or was it just
natural?
Just natural.
Question on Rich, like I know like that a lot of people want to know: is his hair that thin on top in real life as it is on camera?
Yeah.
It's not. No, not
like
that
the front,
bad.
not the front. It's just here, but it's like you don't
really notice it. He doesn't really notice it. I think.
Yeah, you don't really notice it, but it is thinning. Sorry, Rich. So, but is he older than us?
Yeah, I think he's a couple of years older than us.
Still got it though. He's still got it.
But let's thanks for coming on, Jaylee. To my
Shut up.
No, that's the Mansys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening.